As you know, I get a lot of emails. Most of the prominent YouTube channels will, of course, attract a lot of people who want to communicate with you, and it's not always possible to answer all those emails, and I do make that as clear as I possibly can. But I do want to say big thank you to everybody who does get in touch, and of course a massive thank you to anybody who's donated to the channel and helps keep it going. And as this is effectively my Friday show, I thought it was quite nice, where I can, to share some of the feedback from the audience, from the emails. You can read the comments, of course, but you can't always see the emails naturally. And there's some good news, and I want to sort of share the good news, and also some, blah news, not so good news. But this is a sort of a mixed bag of feedback from the week. So let's go straight into it. First of all, and I hope that some of this will affect, will resonate rather with people where they are in the sort of stuff that we're talking about. So let's start off with this one. Dearest Richard, it says, I'm writing to you to inform you of what I believe to be a showdown with enforcement officers. Now, you may remember just before Christmas I had that, and it's still an ongoing thing with letters and threats and menaces and all of that. And it's not nice. It's not nice. So let's find out what this particular viewer had to say. So I don't know if you remember, but I made a comment on your post re the bailiffs trying to take your van. I'm a single parent who lives in the sticks and require my vehicle to access food, electric, work and my daughter's educational settings. We home educate. We're unable to access her home ed setting today as the bailiffs clamped my vehicle this morning. I have watched many of your videos and interviews, and the words of Gavin sprang to mind. Do nothing. With which anxiety is what I did. Although I needed my car, I sat with it. The paperwork they shoved through my letterbox was a controlled goods form. Anyway, they gave me until 12:30 to pay. I did not. They turned up at my door at 14:30-ish. I went all psycho banshee on them, told them they were acting unlawfully, expressed that I was a vulnerable woman with a minor and that they were acting unlawfully. They stated that they were recording me, and I said, good. I am building a case against you for gross conduct. You have prevented my daughter from attending her educational setting. You have prevented me from getting electric and food, and you have prevented me from accessing my workplace. You are acting unlawfully. Take that clamp off my car, or I will. They did, and they left. I can't thank you enough for everything that you put out there and all the wonderful awakened souls that help you to do so. Heartfelt thanks from all of you, from me, a living human being. And that is really reassuring, especially if you've got that bang on the door. In fact, I went out for a little stroll. I'd been recording something this afternoon. It went out yesterday, and it was, been in under all these artificial lights and what have you. And I thought I'd just go for a little stroll down to the seafront where I live. I was only 20 minutes or so, and then I came back and found I had a letter addressed to me, although they keep spelling my name wrong. So it's not actually addressed to me. So I have scribbled on it, return to sender, addressee unknown. There's no post box address to return it to, but I know that it is illegal and comes with a penalty if you open letters that are not addressed to you. And that legal fiction, not only is that not actually me, it's just a name, but it's not even spelt right. So I feel more than justified just to return that. I'm giving them every opportunity to correct the spelling. They can correct the spelling if they wish, or they can carry on hassling me, but it's not me, of course, it's somebody else. So anyway, well done to you. That was great news. Let's move on to the next email here. And here it is. Hi, Richard. Hope you're well. Please keep up the great information that you're getting out there. I'm doing my best. I have been in dispute for many months regarding the payment of my council tax. I've asked the council numerous times what happens to the £125 summons cost. I have finally received the answer. Answer to question 3, here it is. The £125 is revenue of Hillingdon Council. It is to cover costs reasonably incurred in obtaining the order. Up until now, they have maintained continually that the £125 was to do with the summons cost. So it actually all goes to the council and has nothing to do, therefore, with the courts. And that was from a lady called Julie. Thank you very much, Julia. She did send me evidence to show all of that, but I obviously can't show that because it's sort of personal evidence with addresses and things. So that's fantastic to know that, again, these fake summonses seem to be going out and then they're shoving whatever amount they like on top of that. And a friend of mine is challenging the council tax at the moment, and it's a different figure, and it's probably a different figure where you are, everywhere you go. It's not like a uniform figure, as a summons cost seems to be going to the council. Be interested in if you've got different thoughts on that one. Let's have a look at the next then. Dear Richard, my husband has asked me to pass on his letter to his MP regarding excess deaths. Oh yes, now this is because Andrew Bridgen is having a meeting. I think it's on the 16th of January. This is one of these cross-party meetings that he had a meeting in, I forget the name of the room now, in Parliament. We put up on my Rumble channel all the doctors who were talking about these various, what should we call them, medical interventions, and how suddenly there's been a lot of excess deaths. And he's finally managed to get an actually cross-party debate happening. So this is part of the letter that the emailee has sent to me. So on Tuesday, so here we go. On Tuesday, 16th of January, there is a highly important debate on excess death with Andrew Bridgen MP and a cross-party group of MPs have secured in Westminster Hall. It is of great concern that so many more people are dying than expected since records began, including the young, often very suddenly, not in hospital, but at home. The Lancet, excess mortality in England, post-COVID pandemic, implications of secondary prevention. That's in December 2023. Records that have been the 3rd of June to 2022 to the 30th of June 2023, deaths among the aged 50 to 64 were 50% higher. For those aged 25 to 49, 11% higher. Anyway, it goes on, and there's quite a lot to the evidence that is presented to this particular emailer's MP. And at the end of that, what do you suppose the MP said? Is he going to this meeting? Has it concerned him? Has it piqued his interest? Is he interested in the human situation here? Let's have a look at the answer. And it says here, the MP has told us that he will not be attending the debate on the 16th of Jan. This is wholly unacceptable. They seem to have forgotten that they are meant to represent us and are no longer doing the correct job. I hope you're fully recovered. Keep going. Thank you for everything you're doing. Expose these evil people. Well, this is the point. And I keep reiterating something I read only, a month or so ago now by, let me think, Hare Belloc and C.K. Chesterton and the works of C.H. Douglas, in which 100 years ago they were just outlining what the point of democracy was. The people come up with the decisions and the policies. They instruct their MPs, their representative, to go back to Parliament, to the executive, as it's known. That is the people who are supposed to get on and do the job, the politicians, and to get on with it and say, this is what the people want. But the people are not being given that chance, that the MPs are not listening to the people's policy, yet we pay them. I mean, it is a nonsense. It is a nonsense. So this MP has decided he's not going. Now, I haven't decided at this stage to name all the MPs. I'm giving them their anonymity, but I do know the names of them. Okay, so we haven't just sort of created that out of thin air in the way that the banks make money. But I've got another one. Now this one is a little more favourable. Let's have a look at this. So my emailer is called Andrew, and he asked his MP if he was going to attend. The reply is as follows, part of it. Thank you for contacting me about the excess deaths debate, which I will be attending. This is a topic that I too are concerned about and that I have questioned ministers on in the past. and then gives some examples of this, to ask the Secretary of State of Health and Social Care what comparative assessment his department has made of levels of excess death in A, 2023, and B, the 2015 to 2019 average. What assessment he has made of potential links between excess deaths and age, and what the most common cause of excess are in people under 50. The answer to that was there are several organisations producing estimates of excess deaths using different methods. Excess deaths are the difference between registered deaths and the number expected each week, which is no answer whatsoever. So it's interesting anyway that Andrew's MP is going to attend. It'd be interesting to see how many people do attend. I think when Andrew Bridgen had his meeting in something like the 3rd or 6th, whenever it was, of December, and he had all these eminent doctors giving their presentations about how dreadful these interventions had been. I think he told me that there was about 15 who signed up pretty immediately to come along. So let's hope that this debate is a bigger debate than just that, and that more MPs are going along. And you may find that it might be worth just chivying your MP. If democracy is to be served, they ought to be listening to you. And if you say, excuse me, I'd like to instruct you, I'm instructing you to go to that debate. As you are my representative, and this is your job, I'm instructing you to go and do it. You know, don't take any crap that they've got to do something else or they're not going. It's nothing to do with them. This is there, as the previous emailer said, you know, we're telling you what you've got to do. You've got to go and do it. That's your job. We are instructing you, so instruct them. And finally, let's have a different take on some feedback that came in. I did a video about AI, and I was asking, is it the new guru? Will everybody bow down to whatever AI comes up with, regardless, as you don't know the authenticity of it, whether it's true, whether it's not, or even whether it's artificial or an alternative in intelligence. So let's see what my emailer says. This is from Mark. And he says the following: artificial intelligence does not exist. So-called AI has access to a database of information and just replies with the most popular answer or the most fact-checked answer. Thus, it has no intelligence at all, and that is why the AI chatbots stalled. AI can only determine the appropriate response based on the accumulation of responses within its database. Regarding flat Earth, answer me these. So he poses two questions here. If the Earth is flat, then why does the moon appear upside down in Australia? And if the Earth is flat, then why can you see ships over the horizon, but you can't see the sun or the moon? They are actually two very good questions, and I have no doubt we're going to be starting a debate on all of that. So there we go. That's just a flavour of some of the emails. I get loads of them, as you know. And I'll do another one of these if you enjoy these kind of feedback shows and it gets you thinking, gets the old cerebral muscles happening, then that is great. Do get in touch, of course. Just to say, because a lot of these are unsolicited emails, and I'm very busy, as you can imagine, putting these videos together and going to places, giving talks and on all of that, and having guests in the studio and what have you, can't always get to them all, and I do apologise for that. And if you don't hear from me, and it's vital you get in touch, you may have to send the same email again, and I will do my best to get back to you, but I cannot promise. I have no PA to go and do all of those things, and I'd rather not have somebody else send you an email and says, oh, Richard, thanks you very much for the email. I'd rather, if I can email you, I will. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend.